What if I told you that the very weakness you're trying to hide is actually your greatest source of strength? That the challenge you've been avoiding isn't meant to defeat you, but to reveal the incredible power available to you through Christ. Life has a way of presenting us with mountains that seem impossible to climb. Maybe you're facing a difficult relationship that needs healing. Perhaps you're staring at a career decision that terrifies you. Or maybe you're dealing with a personal struggle that feels overwhelming. We all have that one challenge we've been circling around, hoping it will somehow resolve itself. But here's the truth that changes everything. Your ability to overcome doesn't depend on your own strength. It never has. When we try to face life's challenges in our own power, we're like someone trying to move a mountain with their bare hands. Exhausting, frustrating, and ultimately futile. The Apostle Paul understood this perfectly when he wrote that God's power is made perfect in our weakness. This isn't just a comforting thought, it's a revolutionary principle that transforms how we approach every obstacle. When we acknowledge our limitations, we create space for God's unlimited power to work through us. So how do we practically live this out? First, stop running from that challenge you've been avoiding. Face it head on, not because you're suddenly brave enough, but because you're finally wise enough to know you don't have to face it alone. That difficult conversation you've been postponing, that dream you've been too scared to pursue, that habit you've been trying to break, today is the day to stop avoiding and start advancing. The second step is perhaps the most crucial. Confess your total dependence on God. This isn't about admitting defeat, it's about acknowledging reality. You were never meant to carry life's burdens alone. When you say, "God, I can't do this without you," you're not displaying weakness. You're demonstrating wisdom. You're aligning yourself with the way God designed you to live. Think of it like this. A branch doesn't struggle to produce fruit. It simply stays connected to the vine, and fruit happens naturally. When you maintain your connection to Christ through prayer, worship, and His Word, His strength flows through you effortlessly. The impossible becomes possible, not because you've gotten stronger, but because you've gotten more connected. Remind yourself daily that your strength comes from Him. Start each morning by declaring your dependence on God. When challenges arise throughout the day, don't immediately reach for your own solutions. Pause, breathe, and remember that Christ in you is greater than any obstacle before you. This isn't about passive waiting, it's about active faith. When David faced Goliath, he didn't sit down and wait for God to slay the giant. He picked up his sling and ran toward the battle, knowing that God would guide his stone. Faith and action work together. You step forward, and God provides the power. Experts in psychology tell us that our beliefs about our capabilities directly impact our performance. But as believers, we have access to something far greater than positive thinking. We have access to the power that raised Christ from the dead. That same power is available to you today for whatever mountain you're facing. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, when the challenge seems too big, when progress feels slow, when you question whether God really cares about your specific situation. In these moments, remember that God's love for you is not dependent on your performance. His power is not limited by your past failures or current fears. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to experience God's faithfulness in a new way. Each obstacle becomes a platform for His power to be displayed. When you overcome through His strength, you don't just solve a problem, you build a testimony that encourages others and deepens your own faith. The prayer, "Lord Jesus, I entrust my weaknesses to you. Strengthen me to accomplish your will. I rely on you alone," isn't just words. It's a declaration of war against self-reliance and an invitation for divine intervention in your life. Your ability doesn't come from yourself, but from Christ. Nothing is too hard when God walks with you. This isn't wishful thinking. It's biblical truth backed by countless testimonies of ordinary people who accomplished extraordinary things through faith. So today, identify that one challenge you've been avoiding. Confess your need for God's strength. Take one concrete step forward, knowing that Christ goes before you. You're not just capable of overcoming, you're destined to overcome through Him who strengthens you. Stay strong, stay connected, and watch the impossible become inevitable.